Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are currently in Ul'dah to unlock the last job I'm currently missing, namely the Viper. And it starts here with this worried weaver. Enter the Viper. You're an adventurer, yes? There's a spot of bother over at the Weaver's Guild, and they could use a hand sorting it out. We received an order for a full ensemble, but now that the work's been completed, the client refuses to pay. Mind you, I had my suspicions from the start. He calls himself a Viper of all things. In my experience, people who name themselves after snakes are not to be trusted. In any case, he carries a pair of swords on his back, and I hate to think what would happen if he started wielding them in anger. Could he head to the guild and smooth things over? Despite my best efforts to reason with him, he keeps going on and on about vipers or some such. What am I to do? Good day to you, stranger. I was hoping I might make an acquaintance of someone a bit rougher around the edges. Someone who's seen a fair share of action. Could you tell me what prey's worth hunting in these here parts? Have you any idea what he's talking about? I took no issue with fulfilling his order, but now it's time for him to pay. It's as though you're talking at cross purposes. Likewise, I don't understand why this fellow's being so difficult. All I'm asking for is the outfit I ordered in the name of some critters worth killing. Maybe I ought to explain from the beginning. I'm from Tural, a big old continent on the other side of the salt west of here. You've been there, I reckon? Then you might have seen others who wield the dual blades, or vipers as they're traditionally known. Our duty is to hunt ferocious beasts that endanger the lives of innocent folk. In fact, that's what brought me here. Thing is, all that fighting and long days on the road ain't been kind to my gear. Reckon it was high time I got a new getup, bespoke and all. Fascinating, I'm sure, but why do you refuse to pay for your order? And why are you so insistent that I choose my prey? Cause how else am I supposed to pay you? Do us a favor and we hunt down any beast you want. That's the code. How we Vipers do business. Weavers prefer more conventional forms of compensation. That's so? Are you saying I want something else instead? Payment commensurate with the skill and materials required, in guild preferably. Well, didn't see that one coming. Guess that explains our little misunderstanding. But surely a countryman trade in some sort of currency, yes? Why are you Vipers so far removed from society as to be unaware of such concepts? Of course we know what money is. We ain't no bumpkins, but when it comes to requisitioning goods and services, I usually rely on the elders to deal with artisans and the like. Which to say I ain't in the habit of carrying significant sums. So be it. If your only form of payment is the slaying of beasts, that shall have to do. As it happens, one of my colleagues in Eastern Fanalan reports that merchants carrying our supplies were attacked by a wild fiend. What's more, the creature is a species of many-headed scalekin never before seen in this region. It's rumored to have escaped from the Colosseum that's been running rampant ever since. Scaly, lot of hats, alright. You got yourself a deal. Deal? Considering the guild has already fulfilled its end of the bargain, you should count yourself lucky. Still, I'd hate for anything to go awry at this juncture. Might I ask a favor of you, friend? I'd like you to accompany him and ensure that he attends to the creature as agreed. Besides, I dare say seeing a so-called Viper at work will be an enlightening experience. The name's Keshkwa. Pleasure to meet you. The creature was last seen near Camp Drybone, so I advise you to begin there. Alright. It would appear that Viper Fellow has already departed for Camp Tribone. I do hope he knows the way, or at least has a good sense to ask for directions. So this is Camp Tribone, huh? Fitting name. Anyway, you ready to hunt? What's that to look for? Let me guess, you wanna ask around first and see if anyone can point us in the right direction. No need, the Weaver's friend told me plenty. All we gotta do is track down the beast, which is a Viper's specialty. And there's the Hydra. It went after traders carrying tailor's materials. Balls of cloth and whatnot don't sound too tasty to me, but I'm guessing it's the merchants themselves the beast had its eye on. Most predators use their sense of smell to pick out their meals. Scents carry on the wind, so you gotta consider the positions of the rocks and plants to determine how the air tends to flow through the area. Ain't too hard to deduce where a critter's made its lair after you've done all that. Yep, that's a big one. Mean looking too. Must be wreaking havoc on the food chain, never mind the danger it poses to locals. Well, time to do what the Viper does best. That's that. So you like the show? Don't play coy, I can see you intrigued. But before I spill all my secrets, I got a question for you. Ever heard of a Tural? Yes? You have. When you know they're a rare breed of beasts that wield all sorts of powers but they got no right having. A threat to every other living thing that has the temerity to breathe in the vicinity. Because of their long lifespans and unnatural abilities, they were dubbed the Tyrants of Tural. That's more or less what the name means. Anyway, someone's gotta hunt the Tural, and that someone is us, the Vipers. Sounds intriguing. You know, I've made a fair few adventures during my time here, and I can tell you're a cut above the rest. Might even have what it takes to be a Viper. If you're interested, I can teach you. On one condition. You'll help me hunt down a Tural that makes its way to Eorzea. What do you say? Hell of a thing to ask out of the blue, I know. But think on it some, will ya? Let's head back to Ul'dah and tell the Weaver fella we're square. The journal will give you time to consider my offer. And we're back. However, we didn't go directly to the Weaver's Guild. Let's move a bit ourselves, yeah. I gave our Weaver friend the good news, and he handed over the set of fancy darts as promised. Gotta say it was worth the trouble. So what my offer? You ready to become a Viper and protect folk from the nastiest beast that ever lived? Sure, let's go. A mighty fine answer. I'll make a Viper of you, just see that I don't. First order of business, let me give you this here soul crystal. It contains knowledge of our fighting arts, passed down since ancient times, from one generation of Viper to the next. Assuming you got the next for it, our skills can be yours too. I've also got a fresh set of Viper gear for you. The Weaver's Guild wanted to thank you for overseeing our hunt earlier, so I made you your very own outfit. Guess that fella took your measurements by eye or something. Oh, and the blades are a couple of spares I had handy. Try it all on for size. Let me get a look at you while you're at it. Viper unlocked. Alright, for now. Fangs of a Viper. Well, you should look the part, but do you feel anything from the soul crystal? Something, yeah? Ah, I knew it. Sounds like you got what it takes to be a Viper. But the only way to know for sure is to put them new skills to the test. For that, we'll need prey. From what I hear, you adventurers have got your own guild, so I'm guessing the folk there will know the best spots for hunting. Let's go see what they can tell us. Come on, kid. You telling me you don't know any hunting spots? I only said that I don't know anything about beasties. Who are you anyway? Hey, do we know some place where I could fight beasts? If you're after deadly predators, try Spineless Basin. Lately there have been sightings of heretofore unknown species. Most that slaughter anything that moves, including travelers. What's worse, they work in packs. Even the adventurers hired to cull them ended up meeting a sticky end. You got a lead already, huh? Maybe there's something to this whole asking around thing after all. Critters not from around these parts, you say? Either they got chased out of their usual habitat or they were brung here. Either way, that's bad news for folks unfortunate enough to cross paths with them. The hunting of Tural is a Viper's most important duty, but that doesn't mean we turn a blind eye to lesser threats. Next stop, Spineless Basin. I don't know what that man was on about. Who'd have want to go looking for monsters anyway? These adventurers ran into a whole gaggle of the fiends we're after. They got pretty roughed up, but I saw to their wounds already. Don't you worry. Before we go say hello to the troublemakers, I reckon I ought to teach you about the Viper's dual blades. Our techniques are created for the sole purpose of killing Tural. Most of them are meaner varieties of things you might encounter in the wild, often with special powers to boot. To stand a chance against these powerful enemies, our ancestors looked to Vipers for inspiration. Always twisting and turning to find the perfect angle of attack to take down bigger prey. Two blades, for the twin fangs of a Viper, to wield in tandem and strike with precision. They can also be combined into a single weapon that weaves and sways like the body of a snake. By switching between these stances, the Viper has the capacity to adapt to any situation. Now the prey we're after today ain't nowhere near as fearsome as a Tural, but they'll give you a chance to test out your new skills. Let me know when you're ready. The beasts we're chasing supposedly work in packs. My gut tells me there's a whole bunch of them over by that big old tree. If there are any meaner baddies, they must be bidding their time. All I see is fodder. Though for practicing your new skills, they'll do fine. I'll stay out of the way and give you a few pointers. Let me know when you're ready. Let's start with the basics. There are two senses, Dual Fang and Viper. Dual Fang means wielding your two blades separately. Start by using either Steel Fangs or Weaving Fangs, then press the attack. To finish the sequence, switch back to Viper and hit them with Death Rattle. After using Dual Fang weapon skills, Steel Fang or Weaving Fang, the icons will automatically change to the next action of the combo. By performing a second and a third attack in the combo, you will gain access to the Viper stance action Death Rattle. If you have Serpent's Tail assigned to your hotbar, the icon will automatically change to Death Rattle when it becomes available. Not bad at all. These techniques are some of the most important tools in your kit. Come on over here, I tell you about attacking from Dual Fang stance. Time to practice your Dual Fang techniques. Start with an opener, follow up with a second, then pick one of the four finishers. Flank Sting Strike, Flank's Bane Fang, Hind Sting Strike, or Hind's Bane Fang. As you can tell by the names, each finisher works best from a certain position. But don't worry about that for now, just give them all a try. Okay. How do I get those? Good work, Desiree. Looks like you get the hang of a Dual Fang stance. I am though not so certain, I'm just following blinking symbols. That war just now, almost like it was telling them to clear out. And that was a big old bastard waiting in the wings. And now it sent us tougher opponents. Lucky for you, I got just a thing for dealing with lummoxers like them. I'll tell you all about it when you're ready. Alright, now for Viper stance, where you combine your two blades into one to deliver powerful strikes. Perfect for tough opponents. Open with Vice Winder. Then transform with either Twin Fang Bite or Twin Blood Bite from Dual Fang stance. Alright, you get the hang of Viper at least. The drawing is getting closer. Boss Beast must be pissed off that its minions keep getting beat. And there it is. Time to take down a pack or three. Just remember what you're dealing with here. It ain't no pushover like the rest. Still, you got all the tools you need at your disposal. Show what the Viper can do. Unrelenting attacks are the key. Don't give your prey a chance to fight back. Some attacks require from certain positions, so mind your footwork. Yeah, but not with this particular enemy, right? Of course, he doesn't have position as... Alright, that will take some getting used to. Huh. So far so good? Not bad at all. Those are just the basics, but your execution was mighty impressive. Since you have proven you won't be a liability, let me tell you about the Tural we're up against. We call it XIV. It's an offshoot of a brash, a deadly jungle predator, and after a series of mutations, this one's grown huge wings. Worse yet, it's smart as a whip and has a mean streak a mom white. After learning of a beast, me and my most promising student set off to slay it. Facing it head on seemed like suicide, so we laid an ambush. Almost worked too. Almost. We thought we had it subdued and made our approach to deliver the killing blow, but we'd underestimate the fiend's cunning nature. When we got close, it lashed out, lightning quick, before taking to the skies. I cradled my brother in arms as he breathed his last. My condolences? Revenge is all I've been able to think about ever since. I traveled the length and breadth of Tural looking for that beast, with nothing to show for it but a half-dozen pairs of ruined boots. With each passing day I grew more and more desperate. It was until I met some folks who'd crossed the salt on a trade ship from Ul'dah. They claimed they'd seen a huge winged creature flying eastwards over the ocean. Knowing how clever XIV is, I reckon I'd gone in search of new hunting grounds, somewhere without an established threat like us Vipers. So I bought passage on a ship and here I am. Little did I know I also would be damn near as big as Tural. I'm a fish out of water, and I'm not afraid to admit it. or that I'm gonna need all the help I can get. That's where you come in. With you at my side, I might just stand a chance of avenging my fallen comrade. What do you say? Oh, sounds fun. Or at least interesting. Thanks, that means a lot. Let's get back to Ul'dah and see if we can't find some clues as to XIV's whereabouts. It's the sword of the Weaver skill. Chatting up folks ain't my strong suit. If you're happy to take the lead, I'm happy to follow, at least for now. Think you could ask the locals if they spotted any strange creatures flying around? As for me, I'll study your technique. See if I can brush up my social graces and whatnot. Seen any flying cats? Big ones? A flying beast? Why yes, of late we've had sightings of such a creature more and more each day. We're looking into it ourselves, but there's been no reported attacks, nor can I provide any more detailed description. As such, I can't say if it's the same one you're after. Yeah, when I was a ship here, I heard about this hunt your local company seemed to be running. We got a system like that in Tural too, mainly for dealing with the Tural Vidral. Naturally, the bulk of the work was handled by Vipers, but ever since the Dawn Servant came to power, the scope's been expanded to cover a wider range of threats. These days, pretty much anyone can take on jobs. There's no shortage of them all over. If you're ever in Tural, maybe you ought to give it a try. It's not that I'm averse to chewing the fat with folks, but getting useful information out of them sometimes feels like drawing blood from a stone. Half a battle is choosing the right person to ask, I reckon. I'll watch how you pick 'em, see if I can't do better when it's my turn. Whole lot of people here. We got cities of our own back in Tural, but this is something else. You know, to become a Viper traditionally you've got to live in this remote village in the mountains. You learn all you can about the habits of various beasts. Ain't much else to do out there, so anytime you get to yourself, you're expected to spend owning your skills. Once training's done, you're free to roam where you please. There ain't many Tural Vidral that need hunting, but they can spring up pretty much anywhere in Tural, so many say it's good to keep on the move. Me though, I chose to stick around ever since I finished my training, and gave me a chance to work on my swordsmanship. And instead of going out looking for work, folks came straight to us asking for help. That's how I got complacent and fell into a habit of letting my elders and students do all the talking and negotiating with outsiders. Even my passage here was arranged by an acquaintance. See any mysterious flying beasts? What a winged creature! Well, I've only heard the rumors. They say it has a dozen faces, winged with red, wiggling tentacles, and shoots beams of light from its eyes. Of course, it's also common for those with more money than sense to bring in bizarre species from distant lands. The trouble with rumors is that they grow ever more fanciful with each retelling. Well, damned if I know how you did it, but you and your silver tongue got useful information out of folks. Even if none of it amounted to a solid lead, the knowledge that XIV hasn't kicked up a proper fuss yet is a clue all in itself. I reckon it's taking its time to get the lie of the land, having only just arrived here. Alright, now I've seen a master at work, I'm gonna try my hand at talking to locals. Don't get ahead of yourself. I know full well I'll probably make a fool of myself, but no one's ever got good at anything by standing around with their thumbs up their ass. And it just so happens I brought with me a whole bunch of herbs and knickknacks from back home that I can sell to keep myself fat. It might take a while to find a solid lead, but at least I can get by for the time being. So those are the ones who slew my pets. Interlopers in the hunt for my next darling prize. Little do they know it's lost interest in Tafanalan. Just as well. Its fickle nature may yet bring us greater delights. I'll be doing my damnedest to get more information. Might take a while though, so come see me later. Don't forget to practice your Viper technique. I'll do that. And I also end this episode here. Until next time then, I'm Mace and don't get lost.